That half he's going full throttle now.
Yeah. He's fully erect.
Ray keeps doing this. He keeps sneaky going live on us to get us to say something.
I was hoping you weren't gonna fucking look. You weren't supposed to look.
I'm always looking now. Speaking of looking, you're looking at us. You're welcome. Welcome to Somebody's Sports Show. And happy St. Patrick's Day to you, Ray, you French fucking loser. It is St. Patrick's Day, Tuesday, the 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you and all you Boston fans, you Irish bastards. I'm here to tell you, Jaylen Brown, for all of you who thought Jaylen Brown was not going to get that MVP, for all those naysayers, those negative Nancy's, those haters, those fucking haters, they were 100% correct. Jaylen Brown does not going to get the MVP, and he absolutely does not deserve it. I'm here to tell you why. Amongst other things here in the Simple Mind Sports Show, but as we always do, let's do some opening takes. Ray, why don't you kick it off?
Thank you there, Richard. Not only are we dominating on the ice in Italy, dominating the sands in Iran, but now we're going to be dominating on the diamond in Miami as we take on Venezuela for the World Baseball Classic. Everything is coming up USA.
Horrible. Bobby, your opening take.
With the news coming out that the NBA is expanding with the possibility of expansion teams in Seattle and Las Vegas, I have one word for that. Yuck! I don't want it. I want nothing to do with it. Steve Kerr had it right. This is a rant I have done many times to anybody that will listen. Less. NBA basketball needs less. I need to be made the NBA commissioner. He wants to reduce games. That guy gets it for once. Okay. The last thing we need is two more teams of soft NBA players jacking up threes and more scrawny bitches from the NBA coming in, running around, not playing basketball. They don't play basketball. We don't need more basketball teams. Fuck you, NBA.
Look, Steve Kerr may be right in principle here based on what your take is, but he's not saying that for the right reasons. He's being a little bitch about it. It's because he's got an old team. When they were winning 73 games, he wasn't bitching about the 82. So
I agree with
shut
that.
up,
I just used his take to push my own narrative.
Fair enough.
Just like Ray.
I'm going to push my narrative from the opening take on the show right into my opening take. Jaylen Brown, by the numbers, is not your MVP. He is a volume-based player, and I've got the numbers to back it up. Deep dive today. Deep dive into the statistic world of the NBA, and you're not going to be happy about it, Celtics fans. You're not going to be happy about it when it comes to Jaylen Brown. So stick around here a little bit more about that. We will start Celtics today. A little check-in on the C's. We've got a Patriots offseason update, some news since the last time we have spoken. We've got 10 questions from the obvious one, which is always a fucking adventure. We've got this or that with Chief Bobby and Simplest Minds of the Week. A couple good ones in there today. I don't know if Ray took a peek at all of them, but
you told me not to look at one of them, and I didn't. I did exactly what you told me not to do.
Good boy. This is Some Mind Sports Show Friday Rewind live Tuesday, St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. Welcome to the show, laddies.
I got something troubling on my mind. I got something troubling on my mind. I got something.
If you're watching on YouTube, you're welcome. We got green going on all over the place. Proud of you boys. Even you French Canadian cuck, Raymond.
Where's my green?
That's not a green sweatshirt?
No, it's gray, you fucking blind bastard.
Doesn't it look green? What is it? What's on it? It looks just like it's a shamrock. You fucking cheating the system, you jerk off. Bobby, new room?
Absolutely.
Excellent. Not a new headset. I can see that's
You
still
missed
got a ways to go.
You missed his sump pump story too before you got on. It was
It was
very
a riveting story about a malfunctioning sub pump, which I resolved.
Right. No wonder
By
you guys.
sub pump, I mean your mother's ass.
No wonder you guys were talking about boners when I got on. You were talking to the plumber about your sub pump issues. Ray was
I was.
chew bluing his ass off.
Oh no! Fuck! You didn't even know what that was before the show started.
Well, now I do. Your mistake. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, you're welcome. If you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, thank you. Rate, subscribe, review. You all know the drill by now. You're all listeners to all kinds of podcasts. The algorithms are running and ruining our world, so it helps everyone. Just like, subscribe, leave a review. Leave a bad review. Doesn't matter. Unless we suck. Just do something. Thank you. I mean, just tell us the obvious truth. We are simple-minded fools who know nothing. And I expect to hear it from the Celtics take, especially on the YouTubes where we generally hear it. If you're going to bitch at us, at least click the like and subscribe button. Look at, I have the numbers here to back up my opening take. Jaylen Brown is not the MVP. He's not even a MVP, although you may think he's playing like one. And his team is winning. There's reasons for that. I'm going to bury the lead a little bit. I'm going to start with the most relevant news. Tatum's come back. He's played 5 or 6 games. Their most recent win against the Suns was a really great game to watch, exciting game. In that game, specifically in the fourth quarter, Jason Tatum was the best I could describe him was a sidecar. He had 2 shots in the fourth quarter, a couple free throws, but watching the game, he was Sam Hauser. He stood in the corner, 3-point stance, waiting to get the ball, from which he never did. And Jaylen Brown attacked, got to the free throw line, and basically won that game for him. So before we get to the Brown piece, what are your thoughts on Tatum? Again, that game, he did finish with 21 points, 8 more 3-point attempts, only 2 from 3, 2 for 8 from behind the line. He's averaging 10 3-point attempts a game. 3 free throws, 18 field goal attempts, only 1 less than Jaylen Brown, 32 minutes. So again, averaging, he's in that 20-point range pretty much every time he goes out there, very quietly, because he's a very good basketball player. But what more specifically, Bobby, your thoughts on that sidecar, just leaving the lane open for Jaylen Brown to continue doing his thing in what was a close late game and good competition?
His minutes are going up, but it feels like his intensity is going down. It feels like he's kind of like throttling, like just a little bit. He's trying to get out there, get his legs under him, but he's certainly not trying to exert himself. I think maybe when last we spoke, it seemed like he was maybe trying to test his limits, just trying to see what he could feel, what he could do, what he can't. And I don't think he's trying to do that anymore. He's kind of slightly pulled back on the defense. We talked about that a little bit. He isn't quite as intense, and he is 100% right now acquiescing.
Raymond?
3 things. 1, he's just coming back. He's still trying to get his legs underneath him. 2, he knows what's best for this team right now. He's the one coming into a new project. This is Jaylen Brown's team. He kind of knows it. The whole thing's revolving around Jaylen Brown, and he's just like, yeah, whatever. And Rich said it best. If he came in there and bet it was going to be Sam Hauser, this team could go all the way to a championship, because that's what you need. Everything's running smoothly. He's just coming in, getting his minutes, whatever. Thirdly, you have Joe Mazzulla coaching him, so clearly he's lost already, so he doesn't know what the fuck to do out there. So that's what's going on.
I don't know about that. About the doesn't know what to do out there. I think Joe Mazzulla plays a big part in this, and I wonder if there have been conversations truly about end of game situations. They've been asked this before, and they've all said that they don't have specific conversations about it. It's all game. It's all dictated by the game and the flow of the game. And Jason Tatum, who we're going to hear from in a second here, basically said, Jaylen, he's hot. Jaylen Brown was hot in this game. We trust each other to go out there and do the right things and make the right basketball plays. And obviously that's great to see. That's all thumbs up. That's great by Tatum to acquiesce in a position that he's in. And it's great by Jaylen Brown to continue to take the reins and not feel like, he has to give up a little bit, even though I think technically he is on the court, just not in that fourth quarter against the Suns. What did Tatum have to say about the relationship there?
I wouldn't say surprised. I think the element of trust that we have in one another, and that we can rely on one another in the biggest moments, in the biggest games, in the biggest situations. Right, we've been through all of them together and came out on top most of them, and falling short a few times. But I know one thing is that when we step on that floor, you know that the other person is going to do whatever it takes to try to win this game.
I think he's sick of answering that question. How can you
How
guys
could
play
you tell?
together? He's like, we've won 1,000 playoff basketball games and a championship. Like we're good. We know how to play together.
We've done this once or twice.
However, when I watch them play together, specifically in late and close games, they don't play together. They just play on the same team on the same court. One of them goes to the corner and the other one runs a pick and roll, and they hunt for matchups. This is half the entire league does this. I get it. It's not just a Missoula thing, but if you actually had a coach who was as spectacular as everyone is making Joe Mazzulla out to be, he would zig while everyone else is zagging, and they don't. They hunt matchups. So that's why you see fucking Peyton Pritchard setting a screen up top. It's either the point guard or the center that sets the screen to give the matchup to the best wing player who has the ball, and then they try to read the defense and go ISO. That's it. That's NBA basketball. And when Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are on the court, it's one of them playing pick and roll with the matchup defender, and that's it. So the other one has to go stand in the corner. It would be so goddamn refreshing for them to have the balls to play off each other, so the pass doesn't go to a Sam Hauser in the corner. I have Pritchard example here. It was late in the game against the Suns. It was still a close game before the Celtics pulled away. Jaylen Brown was doing exactly what I just talked about, high ball screen, got trapped because they double teamed him. And then he passed the ball to Peyton Pritchard, who ended up going one-on-one for the last 7 seconds of the shot clock. Why can that next pass not be Jason Tatum? Why can they not arrange the offense so if Jaylen Brown gets in trouble, it gets to Jason Tatum? Isn't that the whole point of having two superstars on your team? Or is it just they trade off?
That sounds wicked hard. I don't know what are you doing.
Screaming that for years. All right, fine. You want to go matchup dependent, fine. But can you arrange the offense so it at least moves in the direction of Tatum? No, because technically there's a harder defender against Tatum, so you don't want to go.
What
in
is
that
this?
direction.
Triangle offense? Get the fuck out of here.
It's just too much in the weeds, too analytical bullshit. Get the ball, give your best players, and the rest of you get the fuck out of the way. But no, they have to go to this match.
Everyone has to get theirs. I mean, everyone has to get theirs.
The point is, they play together, and through 3/4 of the game, Bobby, I guess they're playing fluent basketball, and they're having a good season. So we're ragging on them. I get that, but same old story. I have not seen things change when it's a close game and late. They go to high pick and roll. They go matchup dependent. They try to pick a matchup with their best player. Last night it was Jaylen Brown. Generally it's Jason Tatum, except in the NBA playoffs apparently. I haven't seen a lot changed, I guess is my point, other than Jaylen Brown's playing out of his mind from a volume offensive standpoint, and Jason Tatum as a sidecar. That was a stark difference in that game, but stylistically, not really.
Do you want things to? Yeah. Do you want it to change though? I mean, they're winning games.
Yeah, I just told you. They're winning games now. They're winning games in the regular season against a Suns team who is fairly pathetic. They played hard, and Devin Booker is a very good individual player who had 40 points of his own. But they lost to the Thunder. They lost to the Spurs.
They lost to the Spurs because Jaylen got booted, and then they lost to the Thunder because Tatum didn't play because of his ankle.
Okay. Talk to me in the playoffs. Why'd they lose the Knicks last year? Fucking 5
Because Tatum's ankle was doing this. It was like my dick in 8th grade.
Okay, green teamer. Well, they blew 20. They blew 3 20-point leads in that series, including the one where Tatum's ankle turned into your dick. Come on. Yes, Bobby, I want them to play differently. Will they? No, I know.
No, God not.
So, on that positive note, Jaylen Brown, post game, obviously, if you're listening to the Celtics commentary, and I listen to everything. I listen to 98.5, who Felger Maz is my go-to, and they are obviously very negative. Felger was stroking the schlong of one Jaylen Brown, which is not common.
Which is weird.
EEI was all MVP talk. Obviously, the NBC Sports Boston conversation is an all MVP talk. 41 points, 10 of 20 field goals, a career high 21 free throws, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Put the team in his back in the fourth quarter. He's having an unbelievable season, leading a team, to high heights in the East where expectations were low. We'll get to that. They shouldn't have been as low as they were, but in most people's eyes, they're exceeding them. And Jaylen Brown is leading the charge for the first time in his career. And if you don't think that's true, just ask him. He'll tell you it's the first time he's had an opportunity to be this guy. So he's really taking advantage of it. Before I get to the numbers, 21 free throw attempts for Jaylen Brown, 39 attempts in his last 3 games since he did get booted from San Antonio, Raymond, for arguing a call with the officials, and then saying the league must agree with him because they didn't fine him. Now he has career highs in free throw attempts. Is that a good thing for the league and for Jaylen Brown, that pressure on the officials publicly will get you what you're looking for in a league that is hard to watch because of all the bitching and foul baiting.
Would you rather that, or would you rather Bam Adebayo get double what Jaylen Brown has gotten in 2 games and break a scoring record?
Oh, that did get lost in this past news cycle. How dare you bring that up, Raymond? Fuck you.
I was hoping we'd get into 10 questions, but the obvious ones is in charge, so probably not. I haven't looked. I would rather the league go, hey, players, fuck you, stop bitching. Let's have a no tolerance policy. The second you bitch at me, the second time, you're out. They will stop bitching very quickly or fine the shit out of them.
I was going to say, game checks are probably better, yeah.
They will stop doing – the league has this in the palm – they have it in their control. You have it in your control. The fact that Jaylen Brown can get kicked out of a marquee game, the NBA is penalized for it because we don't get to see – 2 marquee players going up against each other, and then he vocalizes it in the fucking locker room via Twitter, and then comes out and says it in a press conference, and then the very next games he's rewarded for it on the court by the officials. That's called collusion, bitches. You can't just you can't run a league like that. And we see it time and time again. It's a part of being a NBA head coach in the playoffs. Every game you have to come out and put pressure on the officials for the next game, and then you see their spots. The league can stop that, and they should. I get gamesmanship. It's always been there in the league, but it's come to a fever pitch where your MVP candidates, half of them are just foul baiters, SGA being the lead among them. And I don't think Jaylen Brown is as bad as most of them. And I think what he's doing is right because he got, not
rewarded, but he got
out of it.
Yeah.
But it just makes me it's gross. I don't like it, and it doesn't help the product.
That's the product, though. That's all they do is bitch. It starts with LeBron. LeBron's the kingpin about it all. He started it all with the bitching and the whining and the flopping, and it's now these kids that grew up watching LeBron are in the league, and they're doing the same shit.
The NBA is free throws, threes, and passing the ball around until you can
ISO.
jack a 3.
And ISO.
Yeah, it's just things ebbs and flow. I would expect it to move, but I just didn't like that. It's nice to see Jaylen. I think Jaylen Brown got the calls he deserved in that game because of the flopping, no one knows how to play actual defense anymore, especially down low. But it's just that's a problem for the NBA. I think they recognize it and they just have to do something to change it. Okay, like I said, I buried the lead. You want to know the MVP odds for the NBA right now? Where Jaylen Brown racks against them? Number 1, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, minus 1,000, tied with Nikola Jokic at minus 1,000 to win the MVP. Coming in third is Wembanyama at plus 1,900. And then Cade Cunningham. We have not mentioned Jaylen Brown yet. He's plus 8,000 after Cunningham has won Luka Doncic at also plus 8,000. And then in a very, very, very distant 6th, not top 5 MVP, is your very own Jaylen Brown at plus 20,000. Good money if you can get it, I guess. If every one of these guys, pulls a raised dick in 8th grade in the next month on the court, then, you might have a shot. Plus 20,000, Jaylen Brown. Heard the MVP chants in the home crowd, and he said, it's pretty cool. Not going to lie. It's pretty awesome to be at this point in my career and get the love from the fans. I got some MVP chants in Southie. I think that might have been cooler. That's all great, Jaylen, and that's all great, Boston, but he's not getting it. No shot is he getting the MVP. And I'm here to tell you, he doesn't deserve it. I'm going to give you some numbers. Stop me if your head starts to swim, okay?
Stop.
Take a deep breath, Raven. Take a deep breath, get your ledger, get your crayons. I'll go slow.
Thank you.
Here's where Jaylen Brown ranks. I'm going to give you traditional stats, and then I'm going to give you some advanced stats. All right. Going up against your fellow MVP candidates, which again are SGA, Jokic, Wembanyama, Cade Cunningham, and Luka Doncic. Points. Jaylen Brown is 6th in the NBA in points per game at 28.5. He sits behind Luka Doncic, SGA, and Jokic of the MVP candidates for points. 3 of them are ahead. Field goal attempts. Jaylen Brown is 3rd in attempts this year. Luka Doncic is the only one of the MVP candidates that shoots more at 22.4. Jaylen Brown's jacking up 21.6 field goal attempts per game. He is, for field goal percentage, he's shooting 47.7%, which puts him behind Wemby, puts him behind SGA and Jokic. So again, he has not led in any of these categories to this point. Free throw attempts of the category we just talked about, he now ranks 10th. He's top 10 in free throw attempts at 7.3. Luka, maybe he'll climb the ladder here now that he's getting his well-deserved calls.
Mhm.
Luka's first 10 attempts per game. SGA, the baiter himself, 9, not master, foul. Jokic 7.8, and Wembanyama just behind Jaylen Brown, 11th at 7 free throw attempts per game. So again, Jaylen ranking 10th in that category. Rebounding all the way down to 30th, which is not terribly surprising for a small forward. However, he sits behind Jokic, who's first, and Wembanyama. And surprisingly, Luka Doncic more rebounds than Jaylen Brown this season, 7.9.
He's pudgy. He can get down low.
Assists, 32nd, 5 assists per game. He comes in third in his own team here behind Pritchard and White. Jokic, again, leads the league in assists per game at 10.5. Cade Cunningham, 10 assists per game. Again, Doncic is ahead of Jaylen Brown at 8.5, and SGA is ahead of Jaylen, 6.7 assists per game. Steals, Brown.
Is that the first time you've said anything about Cunningham?
Cunningham is coming in top 10 in assists and rebounds, I believe.
No, you didn't even say rebounds. So yeah, that was the first time you said Cunningham's name, and he's a fucking head of Jaylen Brown right now. Go on.
He's not a very strong contender either. Steals and blocks. Jaylen Brown does not rank in the top 50. In steals, he's behind SGA, Doncic, Cunningham, and Jokic, who all have more steals than him. Blocks, he's behind Wemby, Cunningham, and SGA, who all have more blocks. So Shai Gilgeous and Alexander is averaging more blocks than Jaylen Brown per game this season.
Canadian.
If you can't come up with a pattern there, SGA, Jokic, clearly front runners, but even Doncic is up above him statistically in a lot of these categories. And then you go to the advanced statistics. And this is where things get pretty hairy for one Jaylen Brown. They talk about offensive rating, defensive rating, and then net rating, and then the usage percentage, which is the most interesting to me when you talk about these statistics.
Bobby's mom's usage rating is like 69%.
That's low compared to our career average. The offensive rating for Jaylen Brown, he is 43rd in the league, his offensive rating, which on his team is lower than Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Sam Hauser, and Jordan Walsh. 4th on the team in offensive rating. Also puts him behind Jokic, SGA, and Wemby, who all rank top 10 in the league in offensive rating. Let me say that again. Jokic, Wemby, SGA, all top 10 in offensive rating. Jaylen Brown, 43rd. Defensive rating. Jaylen Brown, 339th.
Oh.
I didn't even know there were 339 players in the NBA. He's got a 113.7 defensive rating. Just to give you a difference, the number one defensive rated player in the league this year is Chet Holmgren at 103.1. Jaylen Brown is 10 statistical points behind him and 338 players behind him. However that makes sense to you, fine, nerds, figure it out. That's a lot of players. That's not a lot of numbers, but whatever. That's where the rank is. Wemby and SGA all rank in the top 10, along with 2 of his other teammates in Keita and Hugo Gonzalez are in top 10 defensive rating. Again, Jaylen Brown, 339th defensive rating, which just puts his net rating at 108, again, behind SGA, Wemby, and Jokic, again, all in the top 10. The difference, the stark difference in rankings in those statistics to me is kind of eye-popping. 300th plus in defensive rating, 43rd in offensive. Net, you're the 108th best net rating player in the NBA.
How many players were there?
All of them.
No, I'm saying like if he's 339th out of how many? I wonder.
There's only 2 white guys that he's worse than. Better than, sorry.
Yeah. I didn't go all the way to the bottom. I guess I could have.
It's just
They're odd.
that's just crazy to me. Like when you said 339, I'm like, fuck. There's that. Like you said, there's
He's
that
ahead of
many
Mac
players.
McClung and
Oh, the
Well,
dunker.
yeah, that guy.
I didn't dig into the reason why. I'm just giving you the statistics as they are at NBA.com, wherever I got this from. I'm about to tell you why. The last statistic I have for you for Jaylen Brown and the MVP candidates: usage percentage. Number one usage percentage in the NBA, Luka Doncic. Not very surprising. He's always got the ball. But he also ranks in the top 10 in almost every one of those statistical categories we've listed off. Number two in usage percentage in the NBA, Jaylen Brown. And then top 10 again, SGA, Wemby, and Cunningham all fall in that top 10. All this leads to me to believe is Jaylen Brown is a volume-based success story against dog shit competition. And let me give you one more series of statistics here, which have to do with team and strength of schedule. The Celtics' strength of schedule ranks 24th in the NBA. They have played against a 4.95 winning percentage. They're only ahead of Charlotte, Dallas, Washington, Minnesota, and Memphis, the dregs of the league. They're just those are the teams behind them. They're just
That
ahead
makes no
of.
sense. They play everybody in the NBA, so how do they have a strength of schedule?
Certain divisions play their shitty division.
Oh,
more.
because they play more. Gotcha.
You
Go
only
on.
play the Lakers twice in that division.
Yeah,
They
I
only
got
play two
you.
times.
But you
It's
play the
still-
Knicks like 4 times.
So the
or
East will
whatever
have
it is.
worse winning. East will have an easier schedule than the West. Just West being better.
Yeah.
It's still division based. Just for an example, the bottom half of the league consists of Houston, Indiana, Detroit, Chicago, Atlanta, Utah, New Orleans, Philly, Milwaukee, and then the rest of the teams I mentioned. The greater point here is their strength of schedule is 24th. Per ESPN, their winning percentage, their expected winning percentage this year was 747. It was the third best record in the NBA at 53 wins at the end of the season, which puts them behind an expected win percentage only of Detroit and Oklahoma City. They're currently sitting at a 662 winning percentage behind Detroit and
Nice job,
Oklahoma
Missoula.
City and the San Antonio Spurs, who they just lost to without Jaylen Brown, who are overachieving just a little bit.
Couldn't even hit his own numbers. Nerd.
So they're underachieving winning percentage wise, but their team is performing basically the way they're supposed to be performing. And Jaylen Brown is a volume based success story on a team with very little talent behind him outside of Derek White. And if you want to count Peyton Pritchard. And I said at the beginning of the season, Jaylen Brown was about to get exposed as an NBA player. And then through the season, I said that he has proven me wrong. I think I have to pull back my own I was wrong take. I think that he's just kind of, if you put him on a shitty team, he's going to put up really good numbers, and they're going to be just a kind of an okay. If he's in Atlanta, Atlanta's going to be 500. He's in Boston, which is a better team, and they're 600. He's a volume-based, inefficient player. He's a very talented, volume-based, inefficient player.
He's like Drake May of the NBA.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
That's a terrible comparison.
Bobby, do you have any response to my rambling of statistics for the last 10 minutes?
I do. You put together a solid argument that Jaylen Brown is your average run-of-the-mill ball jock, that he just takes that ball, hucks it up. He is me if I was an NBA player.
And we're late on the Celtics here, but think about Jaylen Brown in last year's offense with Jason Tatum running it and the critiques that we had with Jaylen Brown. When the ball got to him, it stuck, right? The ball got to Jaylen, he was shooting and driving. Well, now the ball's in Jaylen Brown's hands and he is shooting or driving. There's just no other option. So he's just doing that.
I'd like to refer you to my previous point.
He just happens to be very good at it, and they happen to be playing against the 24th worst competition in the league. So I'll leave you with this question as we home stretch air into the playoffs and Jason Tatum ramps up. What does Jaylen Brown's game look like against stiffer competition, a slower game in the playoffs, and teams that actually understand how to have defensive strategies against a Joe Mazzulla-led team that has no strategy other than play by the numbers and let them dictate your winning success? That'll be a bigger test for Jaylen Brown, I think.
Yeah, that ball's going to move around. That's not going to be stuck in Jaylen Brown's hand come playoff time because you are going to see the better players in the league. So yeah, you'll see Derek White have a game. You'll see Peyton Pritchard have a game. Tatum's probably going to be at 100% by then. We're a month away from the playoffs starting, so he'll probably be getting his. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be the Jaylen Brown show come playoff time.
I disagree, but we've got a little bit of time to talk about that. I've rambled on too much. I'm told you I've been way too logical on why Jaylen Brown is not the MVP and why we are absolutely right in this scenario. That is not to say that he's not having a great season and the Celtics are not doing very well and they're enjoyable to watch. I just ask what the ceiling is on this team. So we're going to do headlines with the obvious one and come back with the Patriots offseason update.
Thank you there, Richard. U.S. Sports looks to add another World Championships to the mantle. USA takes on Venezuela tonight in the World Baseball Classic, a 0-0 score, top of the third. The regular season starts in less than 2 weeks for the Red Sox as they travel to Cincinnati to take on the Reds. The Celtics are 4-1 when Tatum and Brown are playing together. They beat up on the Wizards and the Suns this past week and take on the Warriors at home on Wednesday. The Bruins dropped a road game, surprisingly. They are on the road tonight to take on the Montreal Canadiens. Puck dropped at 7. Score update 2-2, end of the second. And finally, Jalen Waddle has been traded from the Dolphins to the Broncos for a first-round pick. This has been Headlines with the obvious one. Back to you there, Richard.
Apparently, the Celtics are dumb front-running pussies. This is the same team they have been for 4 years running.
Well, my worst nightmare came true. Missoula and Mayo are friends. What the fuck? Apparently, they've known each other since Virginia. They have these docking sessions where they talk about ball and managing people.
I'm on vacation. I'm going to quay all these. I'm going to fucking watch them this week.
Do you say quay?
Is it not quay?
It's Q. It's Q. It's Q-U-E.